I love Gourmand perfumes. They're some of my favorite fragrances, and these are my top 10 picks for affordable Gourmand options to transition easily from summer to fall. Most of these fragrances are going to be under the $50 mark, but I do have some outliers. However, these are all standout affordable fragrances you should try out. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Anya and I publish videos on this YouTube channel every single Wednesday, plus bonus videos throughout the week. I focus on fragrance. I also have a TikTok and Instagram. I post on those social media platforms daily, so if you're interested in joining me on those, my username is anechkafragrances. When I first started getting into perfumes, Gourmand fragrances were my absolute go-to, so I have quite the collection, and these are some of my top options. There are some new ones and a few originals that I think you should try if you are not familiar already, but let's get into it. This first fragrance is one that you are likely already aware of. It's Nibbas by Lattafa, and it's an absolute standout. This is your ideal red berries cocoa vanilla scent. If you love your gourmand cocoa chocolate fragrances but you want something that's a little bit more complex, something that's a bit different, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love how velvety the chocolate cocoa note is in here, and I just love the fruitiness of the red berries. This is absolutely something that you could definitely wear during the summertime. This is absolutely gorgeous and such a cozy scent. I definitely think this is a standout option if you don't already own a bottle of this one and you love chocolatey gourmand perfumes. You should definitely get your hands on this. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite fragrances. And yes, I very much enjoy this one. It's Nibbas by Lattafa. This next one I need to spray on because I have been craving this scent all day. It's, I just sprayed it in my mouth. It's Lemon Tart by Theodoros Kalatinas, one of my favorite fragrances of this summer. It's such a delicious, decadent gourmand perfume. It smells exactly like a photorealistic lemon tart with lemon custard, the crust, the whipped cream. It's so gorgeous, just buttery, gourmand, hyper-realistic goodness. This is a fragrance I would recommend testing before you buy it if you can. There are a lot of decants available online, so definitely get a decant because this has been a little bit polarizing in some aspects. Some people really like it, like me. Others really don't. So get a decant if you can, but I absolutely love this perfume, and this will absolutely transition very well, in my opinion, from summer to fall. This is a little bit of a two-in-one. I've spoken a lot about the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 71 Body Mist. This is one of my favorite gourmands of all time, and it's absolutely decadent, nutty, caramel amazingness. It's so good, and it's such a great fragrance for summer and for winter. On my skin chemistry, it works very well. Some people really don't like it, and if you are one of those people, I'd highly recommend checking this out. It's Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 40, and this is a beautiful gourmand fragrance that focuses mostly on vanilla and plum. So it's a lot lighter than the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 71, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very lactonic, creamy. This is an absolutely gorgeous, comforting scent for me. I do have to overspray this, and I prefer to wear it during nighttime, like when I'm going to bed, because this is just such a comforting fragrance for me. And I definitely see this as being a fragrance I want to continue wearing. However, when I first bought it, I was kind of laying off on it a little bit because this wasn't necessarily a fragrance that was as powerful as the Cheirosa 71. And for me, I just really like how intense this one is. I like how the sillage on this one fills up an entire room. People can smell you, people can compliment you. This one is definitely more subtle. So you have two very different fragrances from Sol de Janeiro. Two of my favorites. I love these both, but they're very different. So if you want to go for the hyper gourmand, go for Cheirosa 71. It's caramelized macadamia, very, very beautiful. But if you want to go for something a little bit more subtle, try Cheirosa 40, a lactonic, creamy vanilla fragrance with a slight plum note. Both of these are available in store. I highly recommend you check them out or test them before you purchase them. This is a no-brainer. It's Rahab's Choco Musk, one of my favorite chocolate fragrances of all time. I showed you the Lattafa one. That one is a lot more complex. This is just a beautiful powdery vanillic chocolate. It smells to me exactly like Cocoa Puffs. And I love how affordable this is. It's under $10 to buy the Eau de Parfum, which is the one I have here. You can also get the fragrance oil, which I also love. I have like about, I think I have 6 backups of the fragrance oil because I just wear it all the time. It's just such a go-to for me, and I always get compliments on this particular fragrance. I have seen a lot of people critique this perfume. They're saying that it's overhyped, it's just chocolate, but when are you going to find a chocolate fragrance that smells delicious that's under $10? Not in a lot of scenarios, and I think this is an absolute keeper. It's such a gorgeous fragrance. I get compliments on this whenever I wear it. People say it smells like cookies. I just think it smells like a powdery chocolate vanilla scent, but highly recommend this one if you want something that's super affordable, but also something that can pair easily with other fragrances, because this is also a great layering fragrance as well. The Eau de Parfum is on the lighter side. It's definitely not going to have as much longevity as, say, the oil. So if you want to go for something with more longevity, get the oil, and that one projects also very well. However, I like the Eau de Parfum since it's lighter. It's a little bit more versatile, so I can layer this with other perfumes. And it's just such a good fragrance. I really, really like this one. I think it's amazing, and you should definitely check it out if you, again, are looking for a beautiful gourmand chocolate scent that's very versatile and guaranteed to get you compliments. I love checking out fragrance oils, and a brand that I've really been enjoying lately has been Brown Sugar Babe. I have 2 of their oils here. One is Lemonade. This is the smaller size that they have. It's pretty convenient, especially since these oils are really, really intense. So I would definitely recommend getting a few of these smaller sizes if you want to really get to know the brand. But the one that's really, really hyped up is, of course, Caked Up. This smells like a hyper realistic cake batter scent with some boozy spices that just give this a really beautiful gourmand touch. I am also a huge fan of Lemonade. I hadn't heard much talk about this one before I actually purchased it, and I'm so glad I did because it's right up there with Caked Up in my opinion, except this is such a beautiful lemon cake scent. It says it's lemonade. To me, I smell a lemon cake, some candied lemon flavor, and it just smells absolutely gorgeous. So both of these are great options, phenomenal for layering, and the intensity on these is actually really good as well. So again, if you want to mix and match, if you want to try some different oils from the brand, they do have a really wide variety of options. I'd recommend getting the smaller ones because you can definitely mix and match, and the intensity on these is pretty impressive as well. If you're looking for fragrances that have a gourmand touch but you don't want to smell like a dessert, I have a few options for you as well, starting off with Idole Nectar by Lancome. This is such a gorgeous fragrance. It's one of the newest fragrances in my collection and quickly becoming a favorite. This has a beautiful rose and vanilla combination paired with a delicious popcorn and caramel set of notes. This is gorgeous, but is predominantly focused on the rose and vanilla. I like how the caramel and popcorn accent this fragrance, and it basically takes a rose and vanilla combination that's already quite nice, but it makes it different and unique in the best way. I just think this fragrance is so feminine with the rose, but it's also fun with the gourmand touches. I love this perfume. I've been wearing it a lot. And by the way, I just love the way they've done this bottle. It's so beautiful. The color is amazing. And yes, the fragrance is absolutely, absolutely wonderful. And I'm very picky when it comes to a lot of designer perfumes, but this is absolutely one that I highly recommend you try. This is amazing. Highly recommend this one. Another option with that floral and gourmand pairing is Kismet by Maison Alhambra. This is a gorgeous perfume. It smells so, so good. I believe this is tuberose with apricot. And this is amazing. It smells beautiful if you're into those rich and decadent florals. This is definitely one to try. It's not a light fragrance by any means, so I would say this is probably going to be your ideal fragrance once the weather turns, because I love wearing more intoxicating, decadent florals, but admittedly, I have not been reaching for this one as much because of the weather. But I can definitely see this being a go-to once it gets a little bit colder. This is absolutely one of my favorite fragrances, especially if you are looking for an apricot scent. This is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. And by the way, the bottle is amazing. I just love the design on this. I think it's nice and heavy. So this is also very giftable. And let me show you the box it comes in. This is what it looks like when you first get it. So you have this box, it opens up, the fragrance is on a cushion, and I believe this is about, I think it's like $30, which considering the presentation and the way the bottle looks is pretty amazing. So if you're looking for something that you can gift somebody, or if you just want to have a fragrance that's absolutely gorgeous in your collection, this is definitely one to try, especially if you love apricot. But I will say you have to like rich and decadent and maybe even some heavier florals to enjoy this one. This is a very rich and intense take on tuberose. So I can see a lot of people not liking this. In fact, I've gotten comments from people saying they despise this one, but it just goes to show, listen to me when I tell you, you have to like rich florals in order to like this fragrance. Otherwise, you might find it a little bit too cloying. However, I really love my florals, so this is one of my favorite fragrances. Next up is an underrated gem. This is Razazi's Hawass Parfum. Such a gorgeous fragrance and highly underrated in my opinion. This is a fruity perfume with a praline undertone, and it smells absolutely gorgeous. This has grapefruit, pomegranate, apple, some jasmine, praline, and a bit of patchouli. I definitely smell the praline in here, and I do smell a light fruity accord that I quite like, and in my opinion that makes this fragrance very versatile throughout the year. This smells quite similar to La Vie Belle by Lancôme. I personally am not a fan of that fragrance. I think it's a bit too sweet. But what I like about this perfume is that it has a slight similarity to it, but without that headache-inducing sweetness. The praline here really balances it out. I also like the grapefruit and the apple. I feel like those notes temper this fragrance and make this, in my opinion, a lot more delicious and palatable. It's such a gorgeous fruity perfume that I just love, and I don't see enough people talk about this. Also, I really like the bottle. I love this snake's tail that it has on the cap, and also the glass is nice and heavy. This is such a beautiful experience, and yes, one of the favorite fruity fragrances in my collection that honestly no one really talks about, and I don't understand why. Alright, that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. As you can tell, I love Gourmand perfumes, and I do hope you're at least able to find one fragrance that you're excited about trying. I have another one of these videos coming for the fall time. Well, I'm going to be doing a lot of fall fragrance videos, but as you can tell, I love Gourmand perfumes, and I'm already working on my list of must-have Gourmand perfumes for the fall time. So if you're interested in that, ring the bell, subscribe, maybe not in that order, but stay tuned. I have a lot coming. Thank you again for watching until the end of this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.